making those bad choices that were passed down from generation to generation.
That's what's hereditary, the habits. Indigenous people didn't have diabetes and stroke and high blood pressure because they ate from the farm, not the pharmacy. We eat from the pharmacy. You eating fake food and you wondering why you getting fake results. You eating fake food and you wondering why.
They ate from, I'm still on that. Stevie Baggs in the building. Welcome to the Men's Wellness League podcast, baby.
Man, listen, thanks for having me, Brody.
This is awesome. First episode.
Yeah.
We cranking it up.
We gonna kick the door in.
We gonna kick the door in, kick it down, all the way down.
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad that you're here, brother.
No, I'm glad to be here, man. Men's Wellness League, the name alone is dope, and I just wanted to say this at the onset because in order to be well, you gotta be whole. And so this is what we're doing collectively. Iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel, will sharpens will. So when you're talking about bringing men together to be well and be whole, man, bro, what better podcast do we need than this?
Come on, let's go.
So yeah.
Man, our mission, just for the viewers out there, the listeners, is to help men live healthier and more fulfilling lives. For a long time, up until this point, men haven't had education and direction on health and wellness. There's been a lack of information for us. So that's one reason why men actually live 5 years fewer than women.
Absolutely.
The average male lives to the age of 76. The average woman lives to 81.
Well, you also have to take into account the amount of stress that's put on a man, the average man in America, right? The stress of being a provider, the stress of being a protector.
That's right.
The stress of making sure, man, is the family straight, right?
100%.
Like
it's on our shoulders.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the miseducation, the misinformation, the social engineering, the social programming is the main reason why. If people do not because they know not,
right,
or haven't been exposed to a thing.
Right.
So that means I have to look at all the systems that are in place to keep me from having the proper information on how to take care of my temple.
Yep.
Why do I not know about the correct fruits and vegetables to consume? Why do I not know how much water I need to drink? But you want me to know about this latest shoe and how much it costs?
100%.
Or how many horsepower is in a car?
It's trying to change the narrative.
And that's the beautiful thing about having conversations like this, because it gives us an opportunity to lift the veil on the things that the average person probably is not thinking about on a daily basis.
That's right.
Man. Especially
the average male.
Concerning the one thing, bro, we got for free, which is our health. So this is beautiful, man. I'm glad to be here.
Man, we glad that you're here, brother.
Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, you look like an Olympic athlete. You look great. You killing it. You're doing your thing out here. You have a athletic background. I know, health and wellness is extremely important to you. Tell me, just tell me and tell the viewers, tell the listeners why wellness is important to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go back and talk about it's the one thing that we got from the Creator for free. You got your health for free. It's kind of like when you go to school and the teacher's like, everybody starts off with an A. You earn your D.
That's right.
So it's the same thing with your wellness. I think we all start off with a certain level of grace in that area. Those of us who are born quote unquote healthy, right? But then there's certain things and directions that we take to make our health either better or worse, to keep our health in bondage or liberate our health from a certain level of bondage. So yeah, man, it's important to me because it's the one thing that I got from the Creator for free. And if you can't take care of your temple, if you can't be a good steward over something that you got for free, how can you take care of a business? How can you take care of a family, children, a mission, when you won't even take care of what you got for free?
Your own body, your own health, your own wellness. So how long would you say you've been, on a health journey, a wellness journey, personally?
Personally, it's been a long time. I mean, because being a football player from the age of 7 to the age of 31, 32 roughly.
Man, you got banged up in them times.
Well, and
that's a lot of
it's a lot of wear and tear.
It's a lot of wear and tear.
You start to try to find ways to recover better,
right?
Recover fast and get rid of the inflammation, right? But consequently, with the things that I was programmed and taught on what to consume, it wasn't helping me. Like I was
Now you talking like early on, before
Early on.
professional?
No, during professional.
So doing professional.
Like
so let's
this-
talk about
Yeah.
because I know everybody want to know about that piece specifically.
Absolutely.
So when you were playing in the NFL, what was the health regimens that were recommended by the trainers and the coaches?
Okay.
And what did that look like?
So a trainer and a coach is not necessarily going to be recommending anything for your health at the pro level. You should, at this point in their mind, know what you need to consume to put out the best product for yourself on the field.
Right.
Right? Unfortunately, that's not always the case. Like I heard Ocho talking about Ocho versus science. Listen, here's the thing: garbage in, garbage out. That's just
100%.
period. You can outwork yourself sometimes, but when you're young, that works. But when you get older, you got to put good fuel in. So if I put good fuel in while I'm young, it'll even help me more with my longevity. It'll help me with my recovery. It'll help me with my cognitive. You know what I mean?
Right,
mindset.
function.
When you're talking about traumatic brain injuries that football players face specifically, but I'm just saying, like, I was eating McDonald's, bro.
I was gonna say,
I was eating
we
McDonald's
talking about
in
putting
the
good
league.
fuel in, but game day, they would have a spread of Burger King, a McDonald's, a pizza, a bunch of garbage.
Man.
Is it still like that today?
I think more people are aware. I think a lot of the players are aware, but I think there's still a level of disconnect.
Right.
Because there's such a precipitous amount of bad information that's thrown. Like, you don't see a commercial telling you to drink more water, get more exercise, get more rest. You see a commercial about Hennessy, McDonald's, Popeyes. That's what's flooding
Programming.
the imagery.
Right. The
Right?
programming.
And the imagination is being flooded with that. So if I'm in a rush, instead of going to get that smoothie, or instead of fasting, instead of taking my herbs,
You gonna stop at Chick-fil-A?
bingo. Bingo.
Right.
And then you're like, wow, well, if you want real stuff and not processed stuff, if you want real results, not processed
You gotta
results,
eat real
foods
foods
instead of processed food. Because there's a difference between food and nutrients. The cellular system needs nutrients, not food. If you just eating food, eventually the lack of nutrients is gonna catch up with you.
That's right.
That's what we talking about. Like, and people talk about, man, it's more expensive to eat healthy, boom. And these are the same people driving around, bro, in a luxury car. You put 93 gas in your car, homie, but you'll put 87 in your body.
Man,
You can get a new car, you can't get a new body.
you can't get a new body.
So
you got one.
Where are the priorities, right? You get a man who jumps out of a Bentley. I always say this, but his body look like a kid, and like, what are we talking about? Shouldn't you match what you driving?
100%.
That sounds like balance and homeostasis to me.
But when you think about it, I mean, just in today's age, just here at Newbert T, we have so many guys that come in their late 20s, their early 30s, with the body type, the physicality, the look, but not even just externally, internally, the levels, testosterone levels, and this is a whole nother conversation that we're about to get into, testosterone levels of a 65-year-old male. I mean, a 30-year-old male.
Listen.
With the internal makeup
Come on.
of a 65-year-old male.
Right. So what is?
So obviously we got explanations for
what
that.
does that tell you?
Man.
As someone who's practicing in this field, what does that tell you? As someone who's seeing this daily, and is it just about their race? Is it just about their age?
No.
See what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
So
it's all lifestyle.
Yes, sir.
It's lifestyle. Some people, they make a claim that, genetically, this is just how I am, right? And I don't believe that because, I mean, we all make choices, right? We all have the ability to make choices, and the thing is bad lifestyle choices and bad food choices run in the family. That's why diseases and long-term, issues from a health perspective, they come from making those bad choices that were passed down from generation to generation.
That's what's hereditary, the habits. And indigenous people didn't have diabetes and stroke and high blood pressure because they ate from the farm, not the pharmacy. We eat from the pharmacy. You eating fake food and you wondering why you getting fake results. You eating fake food and you wondering why.
I'm still on that.
close your
They
eyes.
ate from the farm.
Close your eyes, bro, and say farm. You don't know
Farm.
if it's the one with the F or the P.
You don't.
Because the English language is so full of ambiguity. That's how it tricks people into bondage. That's why conscious language, that's why I wrote this book, Woke, for people to have a level of conscious language that we're speaking so that we can unlock the bondage that we in.
Yes.
People are like, man, how did you do this? How are you doing that? It's because I recognize that, number one, I had to take back who I am.
Right.
From a system that was showing me who I wasn't, taking away my value. Like, man, listen, I question everything. I ask, I think outside of the box, and I'm so thankful for that mindset. Even when I was.
But you know what? That mindset also wasn't given to you. You had to adapt and create that level of mindset. Mindset is also a choice.
It is. But
It's
whoever,
also a
whoever
choice.
controls the mind controls the man.
That's right.
So that's how I know it was a thing of being chosen, because it's nobody like me and my family. Not saying it like that. We're from a
So with that being said,
standpoint
I'm curious.
Yeah.
I mean, your family, they know how successful you are. They know that you've played in the NFL. You reached
Right.
a certain level of success in that way. They know that you're a healthy guy. You ride, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 miles a week on your bike. Does your family come to you and then do they actually ask you advice on how to improve their health and their wellness?
Sometimes.
Or do they look at you like, oh, Stevie, he's
No,
he's too good for
that's what I'm saying.
for me to reach out to now.
Like you have your greatest speech you'll ever live, bro. The greatest speech you'll ever give is the life you live.
Mm-hmm.
That's the greatest speech you'll ever give, because I have to model this in order for people to really jump on board. Because sometimes the people that are closest to you are blinded by your light, because they just used to you doing shit effortlessly. So it's like, that's just Miguel showing up. That's Stevie, here he go. He's philosophical. He want to be deep. But hold on. There's a reason why it's guys that I played with that's 40 years old, 40 plus years old, and they look like they used to walk my grandmother to school. There's a reason why, the Creator chose me, and that's what I was going to. There's a certain level of chosenness that I think this has to fall under, because I had to recognize, bro, I'm only here to teach teachers and lead leaders. I'm not here to teach chickens. As an eagle, I can only relate to eagles.
Yeah.
A chicken is not, if you go to Chicken University and I'm an eagle, what am I doing at Chicken Elementary School?
That's right.
I need to be at Eagle Elementary so I can be around something that is vibrating on my same frequency.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a lion, what am I doing at Zebra Elementary? Huh? And then people looking at you like, why is that lion acting like a zebra? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So consequently, I had to start recognizing that when I lifted the veil for myself, I couldn't pull everybody up that I loved.
Yeah.
I couldn't pull everybody up that I cared about.
Even when you want to.
When you want to, because guess what, bro? Certain aspects are only for the remnant.
Right.
Certain conversations are only for the remnant, for the elect, because everybody doesn't want to change, bro.
That's right.
Lazy people chase comfortability. Significant people chase discomfort, because they know that there's growth.
You can only grow outside of your comfort zone.
Discomfort, man.
Period.
When you go to the gym and you're sore, you think that feel good? No, but okay, I'm starting to see a result. When you were disciplined and you were fasting and you wanted that food, but you said no. That's obedience. Mm-hmm. There's a scripture in the Bible that says obedience is better than sacrifice, but usually whatever you're sacrificing is making you be obedient. The things that you sacrifice help you be obedient to whatever your purpose or your goal is. So I want to be more healthy. I want to have better economics. I want to have a better, spiritual life. There's certain steps I have to take in order to do that. There's certain things I got to release in order for me to elevate. But I also stand grounded at the same time. So instead of being grounded here, when you go to that next level, now you're grounded, but you're in the air.
Right.
You're evolving. So
You're evolving.
access, influence, and resources I call air. Access, influence, resources.
I like that.
You might have access. They might have influence. I might have the resources. But if I just have resources but no access, where am I going to spend the money?
Right.
If
You can't do anything with the
if
resources.
they just have influence but no check, a lot of people know you, but you ain't got a bag.
Mm-hmm.
If you got access and no influence, Okay, you have accessibility to certain things, but nobody
No
cares.
influence and no resources.
So it's not until you get in the air and you connect all three of these things that you're able to fly, which is first loving yourself. If you first love yourself, you can love yourself enough to connect with someone else who has a different capacity than you. I call it the lion, the eagle, and the shark.
Man, y'all hear these acronyms? Woke.
Yeah.
Your brother is woke.
No, and it's not.
His brother is woke.
This is not a fad. But the eagle, the lion, and the shark are very important because you've never seen a lion try to jump in the ocean to do what a shark does. You've never seen a shark try to go in the air to do what an eagle does. But if you go in their domain, they rule their domains. So now if you can tie that together, if you can tie your access, their influence with my resources, now we can take air. But you know what we do? We don't want to connect with anyone else because I just want to have my own light. I just want to be the only one shining. Wait, hold on. Build your own tent and we bring it together. Now we all shine.
We all shine.
It's called a tribe.
Right.
And my tribe is my vibe. And I had to recognize that. And so that's why, whether it's family, friends, anybody, followers, supporters, whatever people want to call it, I had to let go of the opinion of giving their opinion dominion in my life. Because it doesn't, your opinion is none of my business. Because I have a purpose that's even greater than my children. Like my purpose is greater than my children, man.
Yeah.
Like for somebody to say that, you know, it gotta be real.
That's
like if I'm not living
huge.
out my purpose, how am I gonna be the best version of me for my children?
That's right.
For my family, for anybody that's closely connected to me. You won't.
And that kind of leads into, you know, just mental health, right? Which is a whole nother part and aspect of overall wellness, right? Mental health. You know, considering that you played for the league, you know, in the league for so many years, what are some of the things that guys coming out of the league struggle with from a mental health aspect?
Oh, bro, that's a great question. Depression, anxiety. Once again, that same stress that we were talking about at the onset is a stress that you deal with because that same stress that you think about from the onset, that we were talking about from the onset, is the same stress you deal with when you've been able to do something for so long at the highest level and then it's snatched away.
Yeah.
So now your identity has unfortunately been
Taken away from you.
and even people always say
in your mind,
that's what I do, that's not who I am.
Right.
But man, let's face it,
You become
the
it.
reality of it is, bro, you play football. You can't even walk in the grocery store without somebody saying, oh yeah, that joke
He
look
used
like
to
an
tote that
athlete.
ball.
Like you know,
Right,
Like
right.
at the end of the day, it becomes a part of you. It's like a beautiful woman who's been told she's beautiful her whole life. She can't go to the gas station and grocery store without a man saying you're beautiful. So that's a sense of entitlement that's in her psyche, even if she doesn't want it to be.
That's right.
Right? So it's the same thing with that. So when that's taken away from you, it's like you lost a family member. It's like when I got done with football, it was like I lost a freaking family member, man. Cause I put on a Rydell helmet
That's deep.
every year of my life.
Yeah.
From the age of 7 to the age of 32.
So what did you do to keep your mental health stable? Like, I mean, because you know, obviously you were successful then, but you're extremely successful now. So what did you do to keep your mental health at a high level?
I had to find out my value. And once I found out my value, I knew my worth. But a lot of people they think their value is based on what they do or their bank account or status symbols. Like my value is based on an intrinsic, a spiritual, an invisible side of me that recognizes that everything exterior is only a manifestation of what I have inside. I attract a certain level of energy because I attract who I am. But when I was
exuded.
Because you're exuding that, right? And so if you attracting death, it's because you exuding.
Right.
That's what you're consuming. That's what's in you. If you attracting life, then
Man, energy is so strong. We were talking about this earlier. I mean, it can only be transferred. It doesn't stop. You know, energy attracts. You know, and it can only be transferred. So if you're putting out that light, that type of energy, you know, like you said, you're gonna attract that type of
people
energy.
do two things, Miguel. They reflect or deflect. People reflect you or they deflect from you because once again, the light may be too bright. See, like it's I don't know what time it is right now, but it's like it's light outside, right? But it's always night. It's always dark outside until the light shows up. The light is the only thing that has dominion over darkness. That's why the darkness loves light for what it brings, the trees and the vegetation, but it hates light because it exposes the dark nature, the dark intentions of the darkness to be able to move around and not see and not, you know.
That's deep.
That's really deep, bro.
That's deep.
And it's real. And this is why when you're talking men's wellness and men being more whole, we gotta have these conversations about the vulnerabilities. We gotta have these conversations about toxic masculinity. How the freak is masculinity toxic? When without masculinity, none of us would be here.
Why do you think so many guys neglect their wellness and then suffer in silence, right? Because what we've seen is that so many guys, you know, that, you know, clearly have certain challenges, right? So if I see a customer or a member that comes in and he's morbidly obese, right? He's 380 pounds, right? His blood pressure is high, right? He's got pre-existing health challenges, and then he tells me that, oh man, my sex drive is phenomenal. I'm good there. Like, why do you think?
I think you hit it on the head. Men, let me start with the women. Women are emotion first, ego second. Men are ego first, emotion second. So instead of leading with an emotional side or a vulnerable energy, a genuine vulnerable kind of an energy like, dog, I need your help. No, I'm gonna lead with ego. That's the same stress that I'm telling you about that adds to the being a provider and being a protector.
Yes.
No, I'm a provider. No, I'm slinging. I'm doing my thing in the bedroom. I don't need help.
Like our dads used to tell us, you fall, you scrape your leg. Get up, you all right?
Yeah.
Better suck it up.
Yeah.
Don't cry.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
like
there's
we
a balance
that
there.
way.
But there's a balance there to have that quote unquote toughness.
That toughness.
Right? But there's also a balance there to have that vulnerability. Like, no, bro, I'm really hurt, man. It's to the white meat, man. What do you mean?
Right.
Like, what's going on?
I'm bleeding here.
Like, yeah. Like, let's have a conversation about this, bro.
Right.
But, you know, those are the things where an imbalanced person is gonna have imbalance once again, results and outcomes, and that's what you're dealing with.
And it goes back to, you know, generational habits and the way our parents were taught and the way our grandparents were taught. Right, so it goes back to that.
It's all cyclical, bro. But it definitely does have a lot to do with how we've been programmed, man. I as much as I hate to try to project the image of like it's somebody else's fault that I'm in this space, or my people are in the space of thinking, or the human race is in a space of thinking a certain way. Like, I had to recognize that this is bigger than just like some little, you know, conspiracy theory. There's a reason why, like you mentioned the stats earlier, men are dying before women. Why is that? Right? You know, let's have these conversations about why is erectile dysfunction a real thing?
Why is it prominent? It's the stats are 52% of men over the age of 40 experience erectile dysfunction. And these are just guys that are admitting it and talking about it, right?
Okay.
You know, the thing is with, you know, just the topic of erectile dysfunction, it's gonna happen if you continue to live as a man, it's gonna happen to you, you know.
But why don't indigenous people, why didn't you hear, my granddaddy had 20 children, bro. 20.
Yeah.
He didn't have ED. And if he did, he might, you know, like, I'm just trying to figure this out.
Right.
Like, what are we having a conversation about? It's about consumption.
It goes back to lifestyle.
It's consumption,
bro. It goes back to lifestyle. Because
if I recognize that, once again, I'm eating from the farm, where I'm getting the bioavailable nutrients that my body needs on a cellular level to produce the outcomes that I need. I go back to the car. You can't put 87 gas in a car that requires Supreme and think that it's gonna run efficiently. So why would we do that with our body? Well, social engineering has made everything fast and convenient and boom, boom, boom. And to the point where people are oblivious to the fact that, bro, you can sit down and have a whole meal at a certain restaurant and not get a bit of nutrients. That's wild.
That's crazy.
You can sit down you can go to a grocery store and you can go pick up a piece of fruit or a vegetable that tells you that it's GMO. I'm gonna modify your genetics. And then we wonder why people are acting crazy. And people are off, and it's so much road rage, it's so much killing, it's so much crazy stuff happening.
Look what people put in their body.
Bro. And so if everything that we're consuming is dead or fake or genetically modified or processed, then if the food is dead, the TV is dead, the music is dead, the religion is dead, the education system is dead, the government is dead, then when you come speaking life to someone who's so used to consuming death, you look like you're crazy. How? How can I look like I'm crazy when the truth, a lie runs a sprint, the truth runs a marathon, homie. The lie runs a sprint. But people want the lie. They don't want the truth because the truth hurts.
The truth hurts. Oh.
So the money is in the fantasy.
Right.
It's not in the truth. Because if more money was in the truth, more people would tell the truth.
Right.
The money is locked in the fantasy.
It's in the fantasy.
God, universe, and nature. That's my gun. God, universe, and nature, which is all one and the same. And when you have that gun, when you're firing that gun, the powers that be
Bro,
don't
how
like
do you come up with these?
It's a gift, bro.
Fire acronyms.
It came from Yahweh. That's how I know. Because growing up in the environment in Pompano Beach, where I came from, being the first person in my family to even go to college.
Wow.
How can you go to
That was a major
But I have a
accomplishment in
degree.
itself.
Bro, I have a degree in international business. How can you go to university and never learn nothing about the universe? How can you have a degree in business, but these people don't teach you what an EIN number is? Because when you go to school, they're not teaching you about business. They're not teaching you about health. They're teaching you to be a sheep.
With a degree in business.
I have a degree in international business.
And they didn't even teach you how to start a business.
They didn't even teach you how to start a business. They taught you how to go work for someone else's business. And taught you, they wanted you to be a sheep. And so then how do you combat that? You had to be chosen. You had to be chosen for you to be able to have access to a different level of information. Because that's why I tell people, money is not power and education is not power, bro. Information is power.
Yep.
And if you have good information, you have good power. You have bad information, you have bad power. Shout out to the late, great Dick Gregory, who always said that, but it's so true. What our problem is we've had a certain level of misinformation, miseducation. See, misunderstanding is not a word. Misunderstanding is an event. Understanding came looking for all of us, but we missed it because they told us to lie, and we bought it.
Wow.
So yeah, bro, that's what's up.
That's deep. Bro, every time I have a conversation with you, bro, I'm like in awe every time, bro. And I can say that open, honestly, transparently, like, because, you know, you got to be able to give the flowers, you know, you got to be able to give the accolades to, you know, your fellow brothers, you know what I mean? And so oftentimes we don't do that.
We don't do it, Miguel.
You know what I mean?
But you can give me love for my light because you recognize your light. See,
so
like,
it doesn't take away. It doesn't take away anything from me to tell you that I value you as a friend and as a person that I, you know, can admire in this way. You know what I mean?
That's why I always say I'm a reflection of you. Because whatever you see in me has to be within you. If you see something bad in me, that bad gotta be in you. If you see something good in me, great in me, that greatness is also in you. Because if it wasn't, you wouldn't see it. So in order to truly be a master, one must not be too high with the highs and too low with the lows. One must move in stealth mode and homeostasis and balance. That's how we become masters.
Okay.
It's called equanimity, which is balancing out my passion. And I'm so passionate, bro, I had to learn how to balance out my passion, because just like others can be blinded by your light, we can be blinded by our own light.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why you gotta have a brotherhood. That's why you gotta have a connection,
a community,
a tribe,
of
That's people
right.
Together rebuilding intellect between everyone. Tribe. Together rebuilding intimacy between ethnicities. Tribe. We gotta have that. If we don't have a tribe, bro, we come on. What are we gonna do? You can't do everything by yourself. Oh, I'm the king, but who's the cook? Who's the general? Who's the prophet?
Right.
Who's the, come on, like, what are we talking about here?
Everybody's got to play their role.
No, but I'm not a king over my own dome. So how can I be a king over the kingdom? if I'm not king over my own dome. That's kingdom. That's how you become, that's your crown is on your dome.
That's it.
Your crown ain't on your arm, it's on the head. So, and it's stuff like that that's right in our face that we don't wanna see or can't see for whatever reason, some people, but it's palatable to people like you, and that's what I'm saying. I used to get hell-bent on trying to project to everyone, but a certain mindset and a certain philosophy, a certain way of thinking is not for everyone.
No, you can't relate to everybody. Everybody can't relate to you.
It's the upper room.
You an eagle, you gotta fly high.
Eagles make love in the air, not on the ground.
Come on, man. That's where the chicken's at. My brother Stevie. So real quick, man, just tell everybody quickly about Woke, man. Tell us a little bit about the book.
Yeah, Woke, y'all, is a dictionary for the conscious mind. And essentially, we're talking about etymology, linguistics, semantics, the power of words and the power of the things that we speak and how they manifest into our reality. Essentially, that's what it is. Like, you call your child a kid and wonder why they act like a follower, because a kid is a baby goat or animal. Instead of calling them a kid, call them a champion, call them great. Like, my daughter's name is Honor, my son is named Power, because they have to live up to those names.
That's right.
Someone's gonna have, they gotta be respected by the name that they are being called. As a melanated person, I don't call myself black. If you take the B off the word black, it's lack. And the reason why we be in such lack of love for one another, affinity for one another, we be in such lack of the information of who we are, the greatness that we possess, we be in lack because you've allowed somebody to call you black. Now, when you look at that word in other languages, every word that's closely spelled to black really means white or colorless. So en français, blanc means white. In Spanish, blanco means white, right? That's closely spelled to black.
Yeah.
And black in the Latin language means colorless, bro. So what are we talking about? They want to tell you Africa and Africa. Africa is named after a white man named Africanus. The real name was Alkebulan. America's named after a man named Amerigo Vespucci. Okay, an Italian sailor. That's who America's named after. So even if you calling yourself African American, you still calling yourself white. See what I'm saying? So we don't overstand and understand the power of the words that we speak and how they literally will keep you in bondage, man. Or they'll give you liberation. So that's what Woke is about.
Man.
Yeah.
Get this book. Man, get this book. Woke is
bro.
Man, I appreciate the time today, man. So
no, it's all love.
We're glad to have you a part of this community. We definitely want to bring you on.
No, I love to
more
be,
frequently.
No, I love to be a mainstay, man.
Absolutely.
This is beautiful. This is what I'm passionate about.
My brother.
Salute.
Yes, sir.
Salute.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Miguel. I'm the wellness director here at Newbert T Men's Wellness League. You just joined in on the Men's Wellness League podcast. We're dedicated to bringing education and awareness about the topic of men's health and wellness, which has been so neglected in the past. We're gonna change that narrative, folks. So you wanna join in here for deep conversations with different guests of all different types of backgrounds. We're gonna talk about men's wellness as it relates to pop culture and what's going on in the world. It's important to talk about men's wellness because, like I mentioned, it's been neglected for so long. We're gonna change that narrative and we're gonna do it right here. So make sure that you tune in to the Men's Wellness League podcast.